Hello everyone, this is Mark Knapp, and in this video today we are going to be talking about how to compose a simple verse and chorus in the pop-punk music genre. Almost every commercial song can be broken down into a form using letters such as A, B, C, D, etc., where A will equal the verse, B will equal the chorus, C can equal the bridge or the middle eight, and so on and so forth. Here are just two examples of form analysis of the genre: the commercially successful All the Small Things by Blink-182 and American Idiot by Green Day. As one can see, it really doesn't take as much thought and effort to compose a song as one may think. So, as long as you know some basic formulas and guidelines, turning out hits in the music industry is a skill that anyone is capable of learning. So, let's learn how to compose over half of a commercial track right here, right now.
Okay guys, so before we get started, here is a list of things that you're going to want. Mac running Logic, an audio interface, an electric guitar and bass, a vocal microphone, and some basic music theory knowledge would not hurt at all for this. Okay, so after we open Logic Pro, let's make a new empty project, and let's just start off with a software instrument for now. Now, to save a lot of trouble and hassle in the future, let's just set up our project parameters right now. So, I know that for this composition, it's going to be in B major, and I want the BPM to be 166. For a faster pop song, a pop punk song like this, I would say a tempo range, a BPM between 150 and 170 would be a perfect place to start off when you're setting a tempo up for your composition, and then just work from there. And obviously, most pop music is going to want to have a 4/4 time signature. Okay, so we're going to save now, because saving often is a very key part so you don't lose any of your work. And I know this composition is going to be called Where Did I Go Wrong? So I'm just going to name it that and save to the desktop. And now we are all set up. So the first thing we're going to start off with is the drums, because the drums are the foundation of a song, and it's really easy to just map out, have your first four measures, intro, next four, verse, and then you can just copy and paste your drums all the way through until you're completely done. And then you can, start layering your other instruments over that. So pick a drum kit that you like. I'm just going to use the SoCal for this example. I think it has some really nice sounds to it, so we're going to use that. And then what you want to do is create a couple of tracks like that, and then start labeling them. And only record like one drum per track, because it's a lot easier. If you're going to be mixing this and mastering it yourself and exporting everything by yourself, it's a lot easier to have every single drum on a different track. It's just so much easier. Okay, so after you have all that set up, start recording. I always like to have a count in 2 bars, and here we go. Just, start going. Okay guys, and as you can see now, our drums are completely done, only making use of the kick, snare, hi-hat, floor tom, and left and right crashes. You can add more parts to it if you want, but this is just a very brief tutorial, so we're not going to really worry about fills or anything else extra like that. So as you can see, the pattern itself is pretty easy. It's just a standard eighth notes on kick and a quarter note on snare, while the hi-hat is playing eighth notes for the first part of the verse, and then switches to floor tom for the second, and then switches to open quarters on the hi-hat for the chorus, with some crashes mixed in here and there. The kick switches to a bit more faster pace during the chorus, and the snare has a few rolls here and there. And that's about it for the drums. So everything's on its own track. We basically have our verse and chorus all nice and mapped out now. So it is time to move on to the guitars. So next up is guitars. And some people would go to the bass next, but I find it easier just to lay down all the guitar tracks first, get all the lead and rhythm parts and everything out of the way, and then just put the bass down underneath that, because the bass is going to be a lot simpler than guitar. So make sure that you take care of your inputs and everything, and then just create a new track. Pick the type of guitar sound that you want, I usually, especially for a song like this, I really like the old school punk amp, and then create 3 of those. So what we're going to do is we're going to employ the old Haas trick with this. We're going to double track the rhythm guitar, and we're going to pan one left and pan one right, just to give it a beefier sound, and then we're going to have one take of the lead. So we're going to go and record that now, and be back in a second. Alright, so we have our guitars recorded here. Here are the tabs for you, if you prefer tabs to sheet music, but basically we're just following a 4-chord progression throughout the entirety of the song, with the exception of the second part of a verse. We switch into the minor key, and then we do a little bit of dissonance right here, just for the fact that in most punk music you'll see dissonant chords a lot more than in pop, but still, it adds a nice flavor to your arrangement. And then the lead is just going on some octaves, going scale-wise progressions, stuff like that, nothing too fancy. So now with that all recorded, we're going to move on to the bass. Alright, and now our bass is recorded. It was just the same process of making a new track, and for the bass track, I really like the modern stack. For this type of music, I feel like the old school punk and the modern stack really go well together, and the SoCal kit, it all has a really nice, it all works together really well in my opinion. Alright, so now we have our instrumental of the verse and the chorus completed. The bass is pretty simple, it's just playing the root of the chords with a few little hammer-ons and pull-offs here and there, and sometimes it takes the note an octave up instead of down, but it's pretty simple stuff. Pretty rudimentary for the pop-punk genre. So now that our instrumental is complete, we are going to record our vocals. Here are the lyrics for the song, and we're going to record obviously a lead vocal, and probably add a few harmonies here and there, who knows. So we're going to go record these, and we'll see where it goes from there. Alright, and now our vocals have been recorded. The lead vocal basically plays around the 1 through 4 intervals in the B scale, while the harmonies, for the most part, just play off of the 5th of the scale. And then we have some ahs going on. Basically, at first, the first run through, just following the root note of the 4-chord progression, and then some later harmonies added into that. But basically, this is your entire verse and chorus, and it only took about 13 tracks. So everything's looking pretty nice, and that's about it.
And there you have it. You have just composed well over half of a track in the pop-punk musical genre. And the good thing about all these tips and tricks that you have just learned is that they can be applied to almost any other genre as well. So now, all you really need is a catchy riff, and maybe a bridge or a solo, and your finished song will be ready to hit the airwaves. My name is Mark Knapp, and thank you very much for your time.